Hello. Welcome to part 1 of the Provider Flex Enrollment Tool video series. This video will cover registration and login to the enrollment portal for Nevada Medicaid providers and applicants. It includes information on setting up and changing multi-factor authentication, also known as MFA. First, this video will highlight who should be utilizing the Provider Flex Enrollment portal, and when it needs to be used. Next, first-time users can see how to register. Lastly, the video will show how to log in to the new portal. In this first section, you will learn who should be using the Nevada Medicaid Provider Flex Enrollment tool, and when it should be utilized. Individual and group Nevada Medicaid providers and applicants to the Nevada Medicaid program, as well as delegates for those providers, are the intended users for the Provider Flex Enrollment portal. The new Provider Enrollment portal should be used to complete initial enrollments, revalidations, updates, re-enrollments, change of ownership, also known as a CHOW, import existing applications, and managing all enrollments. Please note, revalidations and updates will be initiated outside of the portal. This portal is not used for recipient eligibility checks, prior authorization requests, viewing claim status, accessing remittance advices, or secure correspondence with Gainwell Technologies, Nevada Medicaid's fiscal agent. To complete the functions not included in the Provider Enrollment portal and to initiate revalidations and updates, you must access the Provider Web Portal, formerly known as EVS, from the blue navigation bar on the Nevada Medicaid website at medicaid.nv.gov. By clicking the PWP drop-down, shown here, circled in red. Should you need assistance registering or logging into the Provider Web Portal, please refer to Parts 1 and 2 of the Electronic Verification System video series. In this next section, you'll be shown step-by-step instructions on registering for the Provider Flex Enrollment portal. Current Nevada Medicaid providers with an EVS account can use their EVS credentials to log in, and do not need to complete the following steps to create an account on Provider Flex. Navigate to the Provider Flex Enrollment portal at flex.medicaid.nv.gov. The login page will appear. Scroll to the bottom of the login window. As a reminder, existing providers already enrolled with Nevada Medicaid that also have an account on the Provider Web Portal, also known as PWP, can use their Provider Web Portal credentials to log in and do not need to register for an account on Provider Flex. Accounts registered as a provider, or admin account, in PWP will only be able to manage enrollments for their own NPI. Only those with delegate access can manage enrollments for multiple NPIs. If you do not meet this criteria, and are a first-time user of Provider Flex, click the Create an Account link to register for the Provider Flex Enrollment portal. The account setup page will appear. For the first step of account registration, complete all of the fields marked with a red asterisk: first name, last name, birth date, phone number, email address, email confirmation, and the last 4 digits of your driver's license number. Please make sure the information provided matches the information on your federal or state-issued ID. Once all of the fields are completed with the appropriate information, click the Continue button. The second step of account registration for the Provider Enrollment portal is choosing a username and password. All of the fields must be completed to move on to Step 3. Once a user ID is typed into the appropriate field, click the Check Availability button. The pop-up will indicate whether you are able to use the chosen user ID or if another must be chosen. Click the OK button to close the pop-up. Choose a secure password and confirm it in the appropriate field. The user ID and password cannot be the same. The password must be 8 to 20 characters in length, and contain a minimum of 1 numeric digit, 1 uppercase letter, and 1 lowercase letter. It also cannot contain the user's first or last name. Click Continue once the fields are completed in Step 2. Please carefully read through the user agreement, using the scroll bar to view it in its entirety. Check the box next to agree to acknowledge that you have read and understand the user agreement, and agree to the terms and conditions as described about the role which you will perform. The Submit button will appear once the user agreement is acknowledged. Click it to finish the registration process. A confirmation page will appear when the account has successfully been created. Click the Go to Login button to log in to the Enhanced Provider Enrollment portal. Now that an account has been successfully created, you may log in. Navigate to the Provider Flex Enrollment portal login page at flex.medicaid.nv.gov. Complete the user ID and password fields with the applicable information. If you have forgotten your user ID or your password, please click the appropriate link. As a reminder, if you are an existing Nevada Medicaid provider with an PWP account, please use your PWP login credentials for Provider Enrollment Portal as well. Should you need to reset your password, you may do so in either program, and the password change will be reflected in both the Provider Web Portal and the Provider Enrollment Portal. Once both the user ID and password fields are completed, click the Sign In button. If this is the first login to Provider Flex and you do not have a Provider Web Portal account, a screen will appear to set up multi-factor authentication, also known as MFA. This screen will not appear if you have already set up MFA on the Provider Web Portal or through Provider Flex previously. You will go to the authentication screen, shown later in this video. To choose a MFA factor, click the drop-down menu and select the option you would like to utilize to authenticate. In this example, SMS text message will be chosen as the factor to authenticate. Scroll to review the remaining fields. Read through the agreement and acknowledgement paragraph. You must agree to it by clicking the box in order to use SMS text message as your factor to authenticate. Type in your mobile number into the appropriate field. Click the blue Send Code button to authenticate via text message. Enter the code you have been sent. If the code wasn't received, click the Resend Code link. Once you've entered the code, sent to your mobile number, click the blue Verify Code button. Next, a page will appear confirming your factor choice for MFA. Click Go to Login. Now that you have selected your MFA, you'll be returned to the login screen. Enter your user ID and password into the appropriate fields. Click the Sign In button. You'll then be asked to authenticate using your chosen factor. If you're unsure about the factor chosen, it is listed at the top of the screen. For text message and phone call authentication, type in the code provided and click the blue Verify Code button. If the login attempt was successful, the Provider Flex Enrollment Tool dashboard will appear. Please view part 2 of this video series to explore the dashboard features. If you are having difficulty logging in, please contact us using one of the methods on the Contact Us screen at the conclusion of this video. If you would like to change the MFA factor used to authenticate the user, click the My Account link at the top right of the dashboard. On the far left, choose the MFA settings section from the navigation. To authenticate using a different method, select the blue Reset Factor button on the right. A warning will appear asking if you are sure you want to delete this setting. The full configuration process illustrated earlier in this video will need to be completed if you continue. Clicking the Reset Factor button will send you back to the login screen. Once on the login screen, the user will need to log in and reconfigure the MFA settings. This concludes part 1 of the Provider Flex Enrollment Portal video series. Should you require further assistance, please contact Gainwell Technologies, the fiscal agent for Nevada Medicaid, by phone or email. The contact center may be reached at 1-877-638-3472. Emailing Nevada Provider Training at gainwelltechnologies.com will connect you with the field service team. Please include your NPI and other pertinent information to be routed to the appropriate representative. Further information related to Nevada Medicaid can be found on the website at medicaid.nv.gov. For information specific to enrollment, please visit the enrollment subpage of the Nevada Medicaid website. Direct links can be found in the description of this video. This video was produced by Gainwell Technologies on behalf of Nevada Medicaid. Thank you for watching.